Well,
Excellent.
hello, Director Sullivan. Thank you for sitting down with us and talking about the Fall Covers for Spring Savings program this afternoon.
Absolutely.
Why are you excited about this program?
Well, I think we've identified that, we as farmers in the ag community, we need to do a better job of conserving our soil and reducing nutrient losses, and we've identified cover crops as an easy and economical way to really make a difference. And so, since being in this position now for about a year, there's been a lot of efforts that have been put forth to try to increase awareness and funding for cover crop incentive programs. So in this year's budget, we got some resources to do that, and that's why I'm excited.
Great, right. We are too, and so is the coalition of groups that have kind of banded together. Can you talk a little more about those groups coming together to form this program?
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's actually kind of somewhat rare that we've been able to bring together a coalition from the farm community and the business community and the environmental community and just other resources, the educational institutions together, and we know what the problem is, and we've kind of helped define and clarify what that problem is, and now all of those different organizations are coming together to try to come up with a solution. And I'm told that that's kind of rare in Illinois and across the country, what we've been able to do here. So I think that's something we should be very proud of.
I agree. And again, thank you so much for putting forth the funding towards this program.
Well, I wish I could take credit for all of that. We made the request, but really it was the General Assembly and Governor Pritzker that signed the budget that put that money and those resources there. So and let's be honest, it was a small amount of money in the big picture. When you're talking about a state budget, but you have to crawl before you can walk, and you have to walk before you can run. So we're trying to do this gradually, and so we don't make too many mistakes as we implement this new program.
Right. So this program is in the very beginning stages. That just was released last week on your website. Can you talk to us a little bit more about what it is and what farmers are going to be applying for?
Absolutely. So it's an incentive program. And to be eligible, you have to have federal crop insurance. And so any producer that has federal crop insurance, it is a $5 per acre incentive off of their premiums if they will put cover crops on fall after harvest or over the winter months. So it's a fairly simple program. It's a pretty simple process to apply for it, but it is a limited amount of dollars. So there's going to be a limited amount of acres that we can actually qualify for this year. But again, it's a small program, but we have big goals in the future.
Right. So as a farmer, I would have had to have planted my cover crops this previous fall,
That's
and
correct.
that's how I would be applying for this.
Yeah, absolutely. So even though the cover crops are more than hopefully have already been applied or planted for this winter, you could go back retroactively and apply for this incentive. You didn't need to do that ahead of time. So yes, if you as a farmer have put cover crops in this fall, and you also have not taken any other incentives, other program money for a cover crop program, as long as you haven't done that, then you would be eligible for this $5 an acre incentive.
Great. So I realize that I'm not going to be double dipping, as they would like to say. I have not applied for any other programs. This is completely out of my own pocket. What are my first steps to applying for this program? What do I need to do?
So I think the best thing and the first thing I would suggest is that you go to our website, which is, I have to look at it here, it's agr.state.il.us. And when you get to our homepage, one of the icons, one of the top buttons that you can click on is this cover crop incentive program. So you click on that, and it takes you to an information page. It also takes you to a document, an application that you can fill out. Now, it would be best and easiest if you had your FSA 578 form to help to help you fill that out. That's the form at your FSA, USDA FSA office that where you certified your acres. So that information has the the field numbers and all the proper documentation that we need to fill out the application, because then we send that on to RMA and to verify or to inform them of what we're doing with regard to the cover crop program.
Great, great. And so if I had any other questions, I could contact the Department of Agriculture?
A couple of options. Obviously, yes, you can contact our Natural Resources Division here at the Department of Ag, or you can go into your local Soil and Water Conservation District offices. Every county has one, and they have the information, and they should be able to answer your questions as well.
Okay, great. So when is the deadline?
So the deadline is January the 15th, so it's coming right up, about a month away, and we encourage, and of course, as I said, the goal of the program, because it starts out small, is there's really only going to be 50,000 acres in this first round that's going to be eligible that we're going to be able to cover for financing. But even regardless of whether there's going to be dollars available for you as a producer. We want and really are encouraging folks to go in and apply for it and to let us, the Department of Ag, and your soil and water conservation districts know that you are interested in this cover crop program. Because, with the funding that we had this year and the acres that we're going to get covered, next year we want to at least double that, perhaps even more. And if we can prove to the General Assembly and to the Governor's office that there is a great need and desire to have more resources available for cover crops, that's going to make our argument much stronger argument as we go down there and fight for funding.
Absolutely, absolutely. Those are goals for session 2020.
That's right.
Great. So thank you so much for sitting down and talking with us today. Is there anything that you want to say to the ag community?
Well, absolutely. I just, number one, I appreciate all the efforts that have gone into promoting, the need and the necessity for cover crops, as far as helping us to educate the public and actually the ag community as to what the benefits are of cover crops. It reduces soil and water erosion. It helps to control weeds, and I think maybe most importantly is that it helps with the reduction of nutrient losses into our waters. And so this is something that every producer out there has the means and the ability to really make a difference in reaching those benefits. And so I want to thank the community, the farm community, for the efforts they have done thus far. I might add, over the summer we did a cover crop initiative here at the Department of Ag with regard to the prevented planted acres. And, the ag community stepped up. They were very willing to participate in that program. And so my hope is that we can build off of that.